video because we have a lot more info to go over here. We have an entire Newswire post explaining what to expect in this DLC. And spoiler alert, it is some pretty big stuff that a lot of people have wanted for a really long time. So you can see it right there, the Cayo Perico heist coming at December 15 in GTA Online. So we're about 4 weeks away from getting our hands on this new DLC and this new heist. So let's read about what we can expect. Rockstar starts off the news by saying it's time to raise the stakes higher than ever before. You've broken a convicted spy out of Bolingbroke Penitentiary, you've saved the world from an egomaniacal tech billionaire, and you've beaten the odds to drain a casino of its cash. This time, you're taking on an entire island. So, of course, all that references some of the heists that we've had already in GTA Online. Of course, breaking someone out of prison in the Prison Break heist, taking down the Doomsday heists, and, of course, the casino heist as well. It goes on to say, prepare to infiltrate the remote island compound of the world's notorious drug dealer in Grand Theft Auto Online's biggest, most daring, and action-packed edition yet, the Cayo Perico heist. Anyone from Spain would know that Cayo Perico, apologies for my pronunciation, that translates to parakeet. So the parakeet heist, basically. It's up to you to find a way to breach Cayo Perico, one of the world's most secure private islands in the entire world, evade or neutralize the heavily armed security forces stationed there, and escape with value evidence along with as much art, gold, and drug money as you can carry. So this is really interesting. Let's break this paragraph down a little bit. It says you can evade or neutralize the heavily armed security forces. Of course, neutralizing means killing them all. But when it says evade, that sort of says to me that you can complete this heist completely pacifist. So it looks like you might not even have to kill anyone if you don't want to. The next part is interesting as well. I think we're going to need a bit more clarification on this over the coming weeks. It says escape with valuable evidence along with as much art, gold, and drug money as you can. What's interesting with all that is it says and, right? It doesn't say or. Of course, with the casino heist, you had the potential to get art, cash, gold, or diamonds, right? Like you can only get one at a time. This sort of leaves the door open for a bit of speculation as to whether we can expect to be able to just get one type of loot from this heist, or if we can get actually as many as we can carry, like it says. That's interesting. I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one, but it's definitely exciting for sure. Choose your tools, choose your approach, choose your crew, and wait for it, guys. Or even go it entirely alone. Just make it back to Los Santos in one piece. So, that's right, this is the first ever heist in Grand Theft Auto Online that can be completed completely solo. I know a lot of people have been asking for that for so long. Personally, I wasn't really sure if I was a fan of the idea, but for all of the solo players out there, because I would argue that almost most people play this game solo, that is some really big and awesome news for you guys, so I'm really happy for all the solo players out there. Of course, it says choose your tools, choose your approach, so I guess that's sort of going to be similar to the casino heist where you can choose your approach and how you approach that approach. What's interesting and could sort of be a downside to all of this is it says just make it back to Los Santos in one piece. So the goal is to go to the island, get the stuff, and get back off the island. The only problem with that is that sort of leads me to believe that this new island won't actually be a location we can explore in free roam. We don't really know yet, but for all of the people that were hoping for a map expansion that you could free roam, yeah, that is a little bit of bad news. Potentially. I mean, we could still be able to explore this in free roam. Personally, I hope so. But yeah, the wording, it's interesting. The Cayo Perico heist is the biggest GTA Online adventure ever, introducing an all-new exotic heist location. So again, there it says heist location, right? Like it doesn't say free roam. So I think, I wouldn't say it's confirmed, but I'd say it's unlikely that you're going to be able to free roam this place. With a brand new approach to heist design that features the ability to play everything solo or with up to 3 other players. Plus, you can acquire new vehicles and tactical weapons, experience new social spaces to dance and party in with your friends, and new world-class guest DJs and listen to new radio stations with over 100 new songs. Oh, and a very large, very versatile, and very heavily armed submarine headquarters with plenty of other surprises. So that's a pretty big paragraph. We'll break that down. Again, just confirming that you can play this with anywhere between 1 to 4 players. You can acquire new vehicles and weapons. That was sort of all expected. That's still good to hear that there's going to be a bunch of new tactical weapons and vehicles. This is interesting to me, though. It says, experience new social spaces to dance and party in with your friends. Now, we did see a lot of people dancing in that trailer. We'll break that down in a bit. But when it says new social spaces, what is a social space in Grand Theft Auto, right? Technically, the casino is a social space. Your apartments are social spaces. I don't think I've seen Rockstar use the words social spaces before, though. So I guess we can sort of expect something new in that aspect, at least. And for someone who loves music, this next part is actually really exciting for me. I know a lot of people love music out there. It says new world-class guest DJs. We did have some DJs with the After Hours DLC a couple of years ago. It's now we got some new world-class guest DJs. So that sort of gets my hopes up. I'm excited to see where they go with that. And listen to new radio stations with an S. So we're getting multiple new radio stations with over 100 new songs. Again, that is really cool because a lot of the radio stations in GTA right now, they're not really that new, right? There's new music being released all the time. This game came out in 2013. So new songs, new radio stations is always welcome to sort of freshen the game up and keep it with the modern music. And it just wouldn't be Rockstar if they didn't tease us with something at the end, right? They say a very large, very versatile, and very heavily armed submarine headquarters with plenty of other surprises. So as we saw in the first teaser yesterday, everyone was saying all of those pictures were taken with a submarine, and it looks like so you and now are going to be able to, by the looks of it, buy a submarine headquarters in Grand Theft Auto Online. That's exciting. It's going to be heavily armed. I don't know. I hope it's something a bit more exciting than the yachts. This sort of reminds me of the yachts, like a massive sea vehicle that really doesn't do too much. So I hope this plays a really big role in the heist and is actually useful for something other than flexing on people. So let's jump back into the trailer and have a look at some of the more interesting points of that one. We'll start off with one of the first scenes that we got in the trailer here, and this looks like it's just a different angle and a colored version of the compound that we got yesterday. We didn't really get a great look. Is right by the ocean. Now, I froze the trailer here because I think this is a really important screenshot. This really shows how big this island is. Now, we don't know how close to the end of the island we are in this exact image, but we can see a lot of island ahead of us. So this is going to be a really, really big place. And if this is just for the heist, man, this heist is going to have a ton of be the main dock on this island. Nothing really too interesting to note. This, I think, is the watchtower that we got in the teaser yesterday. But can I just say, for a game that came out in 2013, this looks really, really nice. This next shot here shows a plane flying over and onto the island by the looks of it. Translating from Spanish, this sign says, "Welcome to Cayo Perico." Now, this plane is sort of interesting because a lot of people were curious as to whether we're going to fly over to this island or go across on a boat. We're not really sure if this...
Guys, 3 days into this game, and I have uninstalled all other games from my phone.
In-game is a player flying this aircraft, but I think it pretty much does confirm that flying into this island by plane is going to be one of the possible options. If this island is just for the heist and not a free roam place, I'm going to sort of go out and assume that you're going to have multiple ways you can approach this island, right? Whether it's by submarine, whether it's by boat, whether it's by plane. I think we're going to have a lot of options. And for the final part of the trailer, it looks like we're tapping into some security camera feeds here. So I'd assume this is going to be the main compound where we have to steal stuff from for the heist. This looks like one of the entrances to this compound, and you can see there's some pretty heavily armored vehicles here. So if you choose to go in loud, you're probably going to face a lot of resistance. The next security camera, we get a look inside one of the main character's offices, I would assume. Again, this looks like something we're going to have to steal from. And then we've got another look through a security camera that shows a lot of people dancing. Now, they did say there's new social spaces. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of the social spaces, but the fact that we're looking at this through a security camera leads me to believe that this is going to be part of the heist. And if we have a bunch of NPCs just chilling in one area in a heist, that's going to be pretty interesting. I don't think we've had a heist in the game where we have to deal with a big bunch of civilians. So if this is part of the heist, that shows that this is going to be massively different from anything we've done before. We We then get a couple of frames showing the inside of the submarine and the submarine headquarters. So the Cayuga heist and the update to come to GTA Online is only a couple short weeks of the trailer and all of the info that Rockstar gave us. But even though we got a fair bit of info, there's still a lot of things that we don't know. So today, we're going to go over 7 things I want to see in this DLC update to keep everyone playing for months to come, instead of just providing a couple of missions and then we'll go back to our other games like a lot of the other DLCs have. So if you enjoy the video, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, and make sure to subscribe for more stuff like this, and let's jump in. Starting at number 1, and this is the most obvious one to anyone who watched that trailer, make the Cayo Perico Island open to free roam. Ever since GTA Online came out on October 1st in 2013, we haven't got a single map expansion. The closest thing we've actually got to a map expansion was the casino being built last year, which is kind of, sort of disappointing. The original map is great, but it's kind of boring now, especially when you've been playing it for 7 years. Most people have done everything, and we just want something new to explore. The island Rockstar teased in the trailer looks really great, but at this stage, it's actually kind of looking likely that it's only going to be able to be playable in the Cayo Perico heist, and this is because of the way Rockstar worded the Cayo Perico newswire. There's 2 parts that are pretty concerning here. The first one is where they say, just make it back to Los Santos in one piece, and the heist is the biggest GTA Online adventure ever, introducing an all-new exotic heist location. Notice how they said heist location, not just location or free roam location even. But if Rockstar is serious about this being the biggest DLC ever and want this DLC to keep GTA Online going, really up until the release of the expanded and enhanced version in 2021, this island is going to need to be accessible in free roam. Now, do I personally think it's going to be available in free roam? No, I don't. It would be a huge change to the dynamic of GTA Online, and I don't know if that's something Rockstar is willing to do on PS4 and Xbox One. Firstly, because the expanded and enhanced version is coming next year, but also because these consoles just might not actually be able to run a map expansion. Of course, I'm not a developer, but you would have to think that this is something that Rockstar would have already done if they could. Like I said, this map and this game have been out for 7 years. This is something people have wanted for so long. I just think they would have done it already if they could on these consoles. At number 2, we've got meaningful vehicles. So what do I mean by that? Realistically, when you think about it, we haven't really gotten any vehicles that are relevant in the PvP meta in really a couple years. Pretty much since the Oppressor Mark II. Now, does that mean I want an Oppressor Mark III? No, absolutely
The
not.
fuck was that?
But a weaponized vehicle that could maybe act as a counter to the Oppressor Mark II, or just something that's useful in PvP situations in 2020. Like, you look back to the Casino DLC, the Casino Heist DLC, and even the Summer Special DLC we got this year. We definitely did get some cool vehicles, but none of them really changed the PvP meta. So it's something like a new jet, maybe a new helicopter, something creative that has its own sort of unique ability. Like, one of my favorite vehicles is the Akula, because it's the only vehicle that can go off the radar, and that's what makes it unique. It's one of the only vehicles in the game that has its own sort of special perk that makes it different to everything else. So some vehicles like that, at least one vehicle like that that has something we haven't seen before, would be really good to change things up. Next up, I got heist replayability. One of the best parts about the Diamond Casino heist was how replayable it was. You had 3 different approaches. You had silent and sneaky, big con, and aggressive. And for each approach, there were sort of multiple approaches to that approach. You had multiple entrances, exits, and disguises to choose from, right? Like, I think with the big con, how many disguises were there? You had group sex, maintenance, bug stars, young ancestors, and I don't know if I'm missing one, but that's at least 4 different ways to approach the heist just with the big con approach. So just that alone adds heaps of replayability to the heist, and it gives the heist, and really the whole DLC, a longer lifespan beyond just the first week after it comes out. This time with the Cayo Perico heist, we're going to have a whole island to attack this from. Now, we already know that approaches are definitely coming back. In the newswire, they said choose your tools, choose your approach, choose your crew, or even go it entirely alone. So hopefully we at least get the same number of approaches as we did last year with the casino, especially since they're saying this is the biggest DLC ever. And just thinking about that gets me really excited, man. Knowing we're going to have to go to and from this island. So in my mind, I'm thinking we could attack this via plane, submarine boats. I don't know, maybe even more approaches. I don't know. But it seems like there's going to be a lot of potential for replayability here. So let's just hope Rockstar actually executes on this and puts as much effort into this part of it as possible. The fourth thing I want to see is don't make the previous heists irrelevant, in particular the Diamond Casino heist. One of the main problems with the Diamond Casino heist last year was the fact that it pretty much made every single money-making method completely irrelevant. Besides glitches, the casino heist is the best money-making method in GTA by far. You can pretty easily make, well over $1 million per heist, and nothing really comes close to that in terms of money per hour. Now, don't get me wrong, I definitely hope the Cayo Perico heist is the highest paying heist we've had in the game, or else no one's going to play it. But I hope it isn't, substantially better than any other money-making method in the game. It should be better, but not so much better that you...
Follow-up bentonite cat litter. Using negative pressure dust removal technology, there is no dust even if it is poured from one place. Super water absorption. Super clumping. The clumping is a thin piece. Very safe cat litter. And it can be easily picked up without any residue. Super wrapping properties. It can easily deal with even cats with diarrhea. It also adds to deodorant.
To play any other heist in the game again. Next up, I've got a new business, and this is a really tricky one because I kind of look at businesses differently to most people. It seems like the entire community just wants a new business every DLC, but then at the same time complains that businesses are repetitive and boring. Personally, I don't actually think we're going to see a new passive or active business in this update. I think we'll just see something similar to the arcade last year. I go back and forth on whether the arcade is actually a business, because really it's just a heist property. You don't really make much money from it outside of the heist, and I think this is probably the safest option for this DLC as well. Look, man, we just don't need a new business in GTA Online. You've already got 2 CEO businesses with the vehicle warehouse and the cargo warehouses. You've got 5 MC businesses, a bunker, a nightclub, and 3 heist properties already. You've got the high-end apartment, facility, and arcade. And like I said, I think we're just going to get another heist property for this one. And it looks like that heist property is either going to be the giant submarine or something at the back of the casino, because we know this door has been under construction for a few weeks now as a teaser for this update. So something's definitely going on at the casino. We don't know what it is just yet, but we'll find out soon. Either way, I think a heist property is the best option because we already have way too many businesses in the game. That makes it extremely confusing for new players. And yeah, on top of that, I didn't even mention we've got the Arena Workshop as well. So there are way too many properties in this game already that make it too confusing. If they are going to add another one, just make it a heist property that hopefully isn't too confusing. And finally, I think we all want this heist and everything that comes with the heist to be affordable. There's been rumors going around that you need the submarine to start the heist. I think that's a pretty good chance that that is the case. And there's been other rumors going around that the submarine is going to be around $10 million, which I think is complete rubbish and fake. No way Rockstar would lock a heist behind a $10 million paywall. But we're not just talking about the submarine. Hopefully every property and vehicle isn't priced ridiculously high, like we saw with the super yacht a few years ago, for example. And I don't really think... The type of vehicles you own in GTA Online separates the experts from the noobs. Most people that just jump into GTA really don't have much of a sense of which vehicles are actually going to be most beneficial to you, whether that's for having fun, protecting yourself, or making money as fast as possible. So today, I got you covered. We're going to go over the 10 vehicles you absolutely need to own if you want to play GTA Online at like a pro. So if you enjoy the video or the video helps you out, don't forget to smack that like button and consider subscribing for more stuff. We've been waiting for it over the past week, and it has finally dropped. Rockstar Games has finally released the official trailer for the Cayo Perico heist, coming in like 5 days now, man, just around the corner. So we're going to go through the trailer. We're going to go through the quick little newswire that Rockstar dropped with it. It's not really a big one with a lot of info like we normally see. And we're going to speculate a bit based off what we got in the trailer, because there's still a lot of questions that we have unanswered after this trailer, but hey, we'll go through it. Now, I can't actually play this entire trailer. I can break it down, but I can't play it because of the copyrighted music. And I think this is a song from one of the DJs, Moody Man, that's going to be in the music locker. And if that's the case, I mean, this actually seems like a pretty good beat. And the very first scene in the trailer is a couple of women that are on their way to the Cayo Perico Island. And as you can see from this screenshot, they're about to get on a plane and go to the island. Now, I'm going to cut to the chase, not going to, string you along here. We have nothing in here that confirms whether this is or isn't free roam. So we still don't know if the island's going to be free roam. But judging from this, whether it's free roam or not, it looks like the way we're going to get there is by plane and possibly a loading screen. Again, that's a bit of speculation, but it doesn't really make sense that we'd be going to a completely different country without a loading screen. I mean, there wouldn't just be a separate country right next to Los Santos. So regardless of whether this is free roam or not, it looks like we're going to be going here through a loading screen on a plane. Next up, we get a pretty good look at the island. One of the best looks we've got at it. Of course, it's covered up by the logo on the heist, but we can still see here that this is going to be a pretty big...
Si Bunso, dito lang po niya. Kailangan sa school eh.
Place. The next part of the trailer shows what looks like it's going to be one of the social spaces on this island. Now, whether this is going to be free roam or not, we don't know, but it looks like we're at least going to get a social space on the island, for what that's worth. Now, the MC at this sort of party in this, what looks like a social space, says we're all here because of one man, and that one man who looks like he's going to be the main villain, I guess, of this DLC is El Rubio. We'll talk a bit more about him as we get into the newswire. The newswire describes him as the world's preeminent narco trafficker and supplier to the Madrazo family, which of course is a big family within the GTA 5 story. So El Rubio looks like he's going to be a really important character. Next in here shows what looks like it's going to be the music locker, which is going to be one of the social spaces in the casino. So the casino is getting expanded with the music locker, and it looks a bit different to the nightclubs we've already got. But when we get to this screenshot here, this actually does look really similar to what we have in the nightclub entrances now. So parts of it look pretty similar, some parts of it look a bit different. Then we get a couple of lines from English Dave, who of course was a big character in the actual nightclubs DLC. So Dave's returning for this nightclub as well. And the way they sort of frame him in this trailer looks like he's going to be one of the more important people in this heist storyline. So I guess that's pretty cool. Now, this has been heavily speculated over the past few days, and it looks like most people were right. It looks like the music locker is going to be the place you have to go to in order to start this heist up. And the reason I say that is because this guy, we're not really sure who he is right now, but he says he needs someone to rob Cayo Perico Island. And as you can see right here, where are we? We're in the music locker. So we're going to have to go to the music locker to start this heist up. This next part is extremely exciting for me because I like approaching heists in a bunch of different ways. And it looks like we're getting a bunch of different approaches with this heist as well. So this looks like it's going to be one of the approaches. We've got someone coming in by helicopter and another player dressed up. I think he's disguised as one of the El Rubio guards. Looks like he's got a suppressor on his gun and he's sort of wearing a camo outfit. So it looks like this is going to be one of the stealthier approaches to the heist, which of course is really exciting. The next frame shows a character in a really similar outfit throwing a grappling hook over a fence. So again, this looks like it's going to be a stealthy approach, which if you love stealth is really good news. And they're doing it at nighttime as well. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to choose what time of day you sort of do this heist at, but I mean, this looks really cool. Sneaking it at night, grappling over a fence. I don't know, but that just looks really cool. Then we get a look at inside multiple vaults. Maybe, I think there's going to be more than one vault on the island. It looks expensive, so I mean, there's that. And this definitely confirms that we're going to be getting a bunch of new different types of things to steal. And the casino heist, of course, we have cash, artwork, gold, diamonds. That's it. So it looks like we're going to have even more to steal this time, which is good to see. Then we switch to a scene with another character from the story saying, well, obviously you're going to need a submarine. It's going to act like an arcade facility did with the Doomsday heists, where you need that thing to start up the heist, and then maybe you can store vehicles in the submarine. I don't really know, but yeah, it looks like we're going to left here. And then we've got two other players on the right. By the looks of it, at different cameras. Really not sure how this is all going to pan out just yet. And in the back, I'm pretty sure that's going to be an NPC. I don't think that's a real player. This is confirmed to be a 1 to 4 player heist. So you're going to have NPCs just chilling in your submarine. So that's pretty cool. Oh gosh. I hope, I don't want to be too pessimistic about this sort of screenshot right here, but it says missile active on this screen. So you are going to be able to use missiles. And on behalf of the entire Grand Theft Auto Online community, I really hope this isn't all of the path to one orbital cannon is enough for me. But I think Rockstar learned from their mistake. I don't think that overpowered it again. And the next sort of scene here confirms that this is actually just going to be a guided rocket, which, I mean, is really cool. I don't think we've had guided rockets in GTA Online before. And the player controlling this rocket right here skips the two buzzards. He goes straight for the main helicopter, which I'd assume has... Yeah, this guy's not messing around with the buzzards. He's going straight for the high priority targets. And here is huge, man. So this looks like it's going to be the planning board for the heist that's in the submarine. And we pretty much get confirmation on how much money this heist is going to make us. It looks like the main objective of this heist is to steal Madrazo files. And we're not sure if this is on normal or hard mode, but we're going to be getting $1.1 million if we steal that. But there's also going to be secondary targets. So we're going to have the opportunity to steal a bunch of different things while we're on the island. And the secondary targets are going to get us almost $2.85 million, which means we're pretty much going to be able to make almost $4 million from this heist. For people who think that you're just going to be able to go in solo and get $4 million per heist, look, I think you should sort of maybe just temper your expectations down a little bit. I'm going to assume that if you want to get pretty much all of the loot, you're going to want somewhere between 2 to 4 players. I would assume Rockstar has sort of taken into consideration that a lot of people are going to play solo, and if you could just get $4 million easily for playing solo, there really wouldn't ever be a reason to play with friends. So yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get all of this solo, but nonetheless, even if you can get like $2.5, $3 million solo, this is going to be the best heist in the game by far for making money. If we move forward a few frames here as well, you can see lots of different things that pop up on the island map. Now, we're not too sure what these are going to be. Are these going to be entry points? Are these going to be vault locations? They could be actually both. Maybe the triangles are vault locations, the squares are drop locations. We're not too sure, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of stuff spread across the entire island, which is very cool to see. So we know we can steal the Madrazo files. We saw people breaking into the vault and stealing like statues and different types of artwork. Now we get confirmation that you can steal gold as well. So yeah, it looks like we're just going to be able to go around any part of the map and just steal as much as we can. That gets me really excited, dude. It's like a full-on heist. Just go around the map and steal everything you can. Man, that's awesome, dude. I'm looking forward to this. Here we see 2 players coming in on a helicopter, so this looks like this is going to be yet another approach. I don't know if this is the approach we saw before that looks like it's going to be really stealthy, but again, this sort of just confirms that we're going to have multiple different approaches. And that's pretty much all I could get from the trailer. You get a lot of cool things in there, still some questions that are sort of unanswered, like mainly the free roam one. So let's jump into the newswire before we finish this video off, because we did get some info in here. It starts off by saying anything goes on Puerto Rico, a private paradise built to the infamous El Rubio, the world's preeminent narco trafficker and supplier to the Madrazo family. Puerto Rico is not only the nerve center of El Rubio's drug empire, but the island also plays host to his other great love, marathon dance parties on golden beaches, where everyone from jet setters and heiresses to legendary music producers gather to rave until the sun comes up. But away from the beach's earthly delights lies an untold fortune in art, gold, and drug money scattered across the island. It's the score of a lifetime for those who can find a way in. So not much to get out of that first little paragraph, but the second one here, again, just confirms we've got art, gold, and drug money, as well as the Madrazo files. And it confirms that this is the score of a lifetime, which pretty much confirms that this is going to be the highest paying heist if you can find a way in. The Cape Riga heist is the biggest GTA Online adventure ever and will be available on December 15th. Stay tuned for more details and check out the lineup for the Music Locker, Los Santos' hottest new underground club.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
So, well...
the fuck is that shit? Oh, there you go. Layo. Upal. Shit. $100,000 again, my boy. Pick up the thing. octopus.
New user get 10% off hotels.
Vehicle, and it's just a setting vehicle, and it's just a setting that you have to do. So I'm going to show you. So if you don't do it, and this is probably what's happened to you and why you are here at this video, then you start in aggression mode, and you've got a long way to go. You're only at the airport, and weapon stash. You have to enable weapon stash. If you see there, have your weapons stashed at the island's airstrip so you don't alert LVOs and guards. And this happens in the cutscene. Here we go. So, yes, hello, hello, hello. And this time, it doesn't start a fight and it goes into aggression. You can just, guards, uniform, just over here. Hello, guys. Please ignore me. I had the guards' uniforms for your golden. Hope that helps you out. Take care.
Approaching the door. If you're not too busy back there, I start getting ready.
Just look down there. It brings back memories, huh? Await your signal from the pilot.
We're here. Wake up and get your rappels ready. Kick some ass.
They're soldiers and they will know you are not wanted. I think. Now for the delicate part. Shut up. Carefully.
Good. Close phone, my boy.
Signal box could have moved since you were last here. Downstairs, downstairs. Does not mean there is no time for opportunistic thefts. You like it, you take it. I have connection. You can use it with the app on your phone. Now, what do we have here? Have a look in the basement. No need to change the winning formula, yes? GPS for position. So access CCTV collection inside. Over there, in display case. Do you see the size of this necklace? Must be worth a fortune. Let us find out exactly how much, huh? Getting through the case will be a challenge. Use the wrong tool and you destroy what is inside.
Well, see ya.
I will do some research. Downstairs. This one case You know the only diamond bigger than this, and one in my ex-wife's finger. You steal that back, then I am impressed. Fresh cards inbound. From the counter position, I will also access. Fast. Friends.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
Welcome back, Captain. That was a masterful test of reconnaissance. And you have a task too, no? Now to business. Come over to the screen and I will give you the door. And you heading, Captain? Bye.